Tell Tony.
No, he has not. Okay.
Can you hear?
I don't know how to make this thing go over. Okay. Put it. Okay. This is right behind.
Okay, we're going to get started. And you can hear me okay? Okay, so before we start, we want to start with a pledge of allegiance. And Kathy, I didn't ask you ahead of time.
Oh, maybe. I'll try to, yeah, I'll try to wing something.
So let's stand for pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Okay, so before we say our prayer, we don't have the Ukrainian flag. But if someone wants to come and say the Ukrainian flag, is there such a thing? No, not to your flag. No, okay. Learn something new. All right, Kathy.
I know, hang on a minute, stall.
She's going to say a prayer.
I know I have something here in one of these books. Aha.
Okay.
Do I have to come up here?
Yeah. Okay, that's fine.
All right. We thank thee, Lord, as volunteers for chance to serve another year and to give ourselves in some small way to those not blessed as we each day. Our thanks for health and mind and soul to aid us ever towards our goal. For eyes to see the good in all, a hand to extend before a fall. For legs to go where the need is great, learning to love, forgetting to hate. For ears to hear and hearts to care when someone's cross is hard to bear. A smile to show our affection true, with energy aplenty the task to do. And as we ask, dear Lord, if we may, is to serve you better day by day.
Very nice, thank you.
You are welcome.
Okay, so before we start, let us see who's here today. So we'll start with Kathy. She's our secretary.
Yes. My name is Kathy Bowman Parks. I am with the Altrusa Club of Dayton.
Altrusa, great. Next,
I am Jamie Crooks. I am with Peace and Tranquility Lake Corporation.
Peace and Tranquility.
Yes.
Terrific, thank you. Julia.
I'm Jill Hall.
Jill.
I'm Veronica's guest, and I am with City Council in Kettering and Care Portal.
Very nice, thank you for coming.
I'm Paul Beckman with the Saturday Noon Optimist Club.
I'm Larry Horwath with the Riverdale Optimist Club.
And immediate past president.
Tony Calusi with the Miami Valley Military Affairs Association.
Hi, I'm Carol Smyrn. I'm a guest, and I'm with the Girl Scouts of Western Ohio. I'm Joseph Adino.
And I'm Barbara Hudson Banner. I'm a board member for the President's Club. I'm also the president of Twin Tig and the CEO of Mercy Manor.
I'm Tina Howard. I am the gift officer for Kettering College. I'm Khadija Ali, and I am president of the council on the board, and I'm also president of the event for the Exchange Club of Dayton. And yesterday was my birthday.
Happy birthday.
You want to say who you are?
I need to.
Yeah.
I'm Kelly. I'm the guest. I'm the student of Kettering College.
Great.
Hi, my name is Natalia. I'm also a student. And hello, my name is Stefana, and I'm a student too.
Terrific. We're so happy to have you here. I want to bring to everyone's attention, we're on Zoom. And so this will be recorded and sent out to other members that have not been here. And so I want to remind everyone that the Citizen Legion of Honor recommendation application needs to be in by the 31st. If there's someone that you would like to select or nominate to be considered for the Citizen Legion of Honor Award, which is in October. Please get your applications in. You can go to our website, presidentsclubdayton.org, and the application is there. Also, our June meeting is on Tuesday, June 20th, and it's going to be at Sinclair Community College. I need my paper. Who has? Kathy. No, not that. Yes, and we're collaborating with the Miami Valley Military Affairs Association. And we are having a special luncheon, and the keynote speaker is going to be Rear Admiral Tom Williams from the United States Navy, Commander, Expeditionary Strike Group 2. So the only thing I know right now, you might know more, is that we could maybe ask questions about what's going on in the China Sea, or I don't know. But it should be really, really interesting, and we are honored to be able to be a part of that and to bring him here. So we're not going to meet on a Wednesday, we're going to meet on a Tuesday. And that's June 20th in Building 12 at the Sinclair Conference Center. Okay, so now let's get on with our guests. So President Nathan Brandstater, perfect, has a PhD in physical chemistry. That's so impressive. From the University of California at Los Angeles, and has an MBA in financial management from La Sierra University in Riverside, California. He stated that his teaching, research, and administrative experiences guide his efforts to help develop students, faculty, and staff. President Brandstater has worked with Senator Sherrod Brown on the bipartisan legislation that President Biden signed into law, the Training Act, or the Technical Reset to Advance the Instruction of Nurses. It is designed to strengthen the healthcare workforce and address nursing shortages in Ohio and nationally by investing in and protecting existing hospital-based nursing and allied health professional training programs. So this is really, really, I never heard of that before. It's really exciting that this is being addressed, because we all get nervous, because we all know that, you know, there's going to be a shortage of doctors, there's going to be a shortage of nurses, but someone is really trying to address that issue so that there will not be. So that's fantastic. Kettering College has an empathetic, intellectual, and transformational leader in President Brandstater. The Euro-Asia division of the Seventh-day Adventist reached out to universities nationwide asking for assistance to help students in war-torn Ukraine to continue their education in healthcare. A recent newspaper article stated that President Brandstater asked faculty, staff in Kettering Health if they would support bringing students to the college. Getting international students from an area of war was a new experience for the college. Still, the entire faculty and staff was on board and vowed to make the educational dreams of these students a reality. I do not have everyone's name, but Tina Howard helped me get him here, along with other members of his team, Ivan Riopolo, who is an internet genius. And some of the students attending Kettering College from Ukraine. So let's please welcome President Brandstater and the brave students from Ukraine.
Well, thank you so much for that great introduction. I'm not sure if I'm going to need this microphone. I'm a teacher by trade, so I talk really, really loud. If I should stop using the microphone, Tina, just let me know. Thank you so much for that warm and generous introduction. And thank you so much, especially for the invitation for us to come and share with you all today something really wonderful, really exciting, really invigorating, and unique, happening not only in the United States of America, but it's happening right here in Dayton. And it's happening because of the innovative spirit of leaders like you in this very room. So I want to take you back to a little over a year ago in March of 2022. Thank you for mentioning Ivan's presence here in this thing called the Euro-Asia Division Education Emergency Action Plan. That was written by Ivan Ryapolov, whom a year and a little bit ago I had no idea who he was. The Seventh-day Adventist Church is a worldwide church. There are 18 or 20 million members worldwide, and there are only 2 million in the United States. So the Euro-Asia Division is a division that includes the country of Ukraine and 12 other nations, and has, as it turns out, 24 Seventh-day Adventist schools and a college and a seminary operating in the country. So the Seventh-day Adventist Church in Kettering College is operated by the Seventh-day Adventist Church, and it also operates around 130 other colleges and universities around the world. One is in Ukraine. So when the invasion began at the end of February, early March, all of that infrastructure was, all of that activity was disrupted. It quickly became clear all of the education activities going on, not just in our Seventh-day Adventist schools and college and seminary, were going to stop, but people were going to be scattered everywhere. And the question came up, well, what are we going to do? I happened to be in a meeting somewhere special when this question came up in the middle of March. And an official in the Department of Education, Seventh-day Adventist Church said, hey, what can you folks in North America do to help our students and families in Ukraine, our teachers? Can you provide some opportunities for them to continue learning, can you provide opportunities for faculty to exchange, etc. And I raised my hand, I just felt my hand go up. And that night, I reached out to leaders at Kettering Health and some other folks, the former president of the Seventh-day Adventist Disaster Relief Agency, an NGO that operates all over the world, including Ukraine. And asked two questions. One, hey, can we do something in Kettering? And the other was to Jonathan Duffy. And the question I had to him was, how would we even begin to connect with and bring, refugees now, right? Because so many folks are displaced. They're in Poland, they're in, other countries, et cetera, all over the world. How would I even go about that? So two great things happened as a result of that. The next morning, my email inbox was full of responses from leaders at Kettering Health. And the responses were absolutely, this is a great initiative. We absolutely should do whatever we can. So they, go and make it happen. And the other thing that happened was I got a phone call from John. And he said, Nate, the person you need to talk to, his name is Vladimir Kachuk. Okay, he is an official in the Euro-Asia division. He used to work out of Ukraine when I was president of Azure International. And now, but I don't know where he is, but if we can find him, he can coordinate some activity. He can coordinate that outreach. So I said, great. I started working on logistics, and meanwhile, Jonathan tried to reach Vladimir because we had no idea where he's probably driving a van full of refugees somewhere, in the middle of the country, who knows. So he called me later that day and said, Nate, I found Vladimir and he wants to talk to you. I said, great, how do I get a hold of him? He said, well, it turns out he's in the United States. I said, wow, that's fantastic. Let's arrange a meeting. He said, yeah, he's in Orlando, Florida. And that was when I knew that God was intervening directly to connect me to resources that were going to make this possible, because the meeting that I was in was taking place in Orlando, Florida. So the next evening, I was having dinner with Vladimir Kachuk and several other education officials and Ukrainian folks, and it was just terrific. And we sketched out over dinner a plan to bring as many students as we could from Ukraine who were interested in healthcare, who could benefit from the education we offered, who were ready to take that step on their education journey. And we now have at Kettering College 34 of those students. And we are hoping to invite still more. They have come to us with a pledge from Kettering Health to take care of all of their education and living expenses. And it's fascinating because Kettering College is an institution. It's about 830 students. Nursing is our largest program, but we also have other allied health and physician assistant and other programs. But by and large, we are a commuter school. We have at any one time, maybe half a dozen international students from exotic countries like Canada. And so the proposition of bringing large numbers of international students to us was just a brand new thing for us. But we have a great team, and we saw the value of reaching out and figuring out how to make this work. And we had people like Vladimir, and we met new people like Ivan, the director of education for the Euro-Asia division, who decided that he was going to come and join us at Kettering Health, in part to ensure the success of this group of students. So all of that took place incredibly quickly. It required making all sorts of new friends in embassies and in the State Department. Because, you know, there are things that we do to admit international students that would, like, for example, taking the test of English as a foreign language, the TOEFL exam, and sending official transcripts of institutions demonstrating that, you know, a student's graduated from high school or, you know, had spent a year in college. Well, of course, none of those institutions are operating, right? There wasn't a place where a student could go to take the TOEFL exam. So we had to figure all of those things out and explain how all of those things were working to embassies in other countries, so that they knew that when our students were coming to them to be interviewed to get student visas, that everything was real and on the up. And so here we are, and I want to invite Ivan to just say a few words that he would, and then I would love to invite Svetlana and Nata and Vitaly to come on up and just make a couple of remarks, and then I'd love to open it up to questions and answers and let you all ask whatever questions that you may have for them. So I have a couple of minutes, and then let's bring up our students. Oh, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. Hello again, everyone. Thank you for having us. Great honor and pleasure to be with you. My portion would be very short because I understand that key people here are the students and they have something to share. On my side, I would just say that God is almighty, you know, and whenever you pray, He does answer prayers. So in the midst of this terrible things, you know, going on in Ukraine, we developed this plan. We got this fantastic offer from Kettering, and we are very thankful to the community, you know, to Kettering Health, Kettering College, to all of the people here who support, you know, with everything you can, Ukraine and Ukrainian students and their families and fans, etc. So when we heard about this offer from Kettering, we created a committee of people in church who would start the extensive search process for the best talented, you know, dedicated and the brightest students who could benefit from this opportunity. And here we have 34 on the ground, and the 3 that are here, they represent the broader group that we have. I could share, you know, this picture. It's also not all of them, but still a bigger group. So I guess that, you know, all the questions you're going to ask, you'll ask them after a short video that we have prepared for you. And I'm just blessed to work here with wonderful people, with Nick, his colleague Christina, to help the students and to feel, you know, that what we do, it actually matters not only for the students here, but for the whole Kettering community, including Kettering College, and for Ukrainian community back in Ukraine, because these kids, you know, they have parents, they have grandfathers, grandmothers, they all go to church, they know many people there. So now the country of Ukraine, they know what Kettering Health, Kettering College, and broader community here of the area, what you are doing for the country of Ukraine. So please a short video, and then we will invite the students here.
Yes.
All of these images have come from our students directly.
The Russian invasion of Ukraine has disrupted countless lives since it began in February of 2022. As the conflict including higher education. To aid some of those students, the General Conference of the Seventh-day Adventists created an emergency education plan, asking their colleges and universities to help support students whose education was being disrupted. We are honored and humbled to welcome a courageous group of 50 students from Ukraine as we continue to actualize our college's vision of transforming lives through innovative healthcare education. We pray for peace in their country, and it is our hope that in the meantime, they find Kettering College in our community to be a safe and welcoming place to continue their education. We have the ability to dramatically change the lives of these students. It will take close to $1.5 million each year for the next 3 years to provide them with housing, food, books, bedding, and personal items. Kettering College, in partnership with Kettering Health, has placed our faith in God and the community to meet their needs. We can provide a glimmer of hope and support during the challenging time in these students' lives and ensure their education continues in spite of war in their homeland.
Friends, come on up and introduce yourselves. Share a little bit about you and your journey to Kettering. Oh.
You gotta be there.
Good morning, my name is Svetlana and I would like to introduce myself. So right now I am a nursing student, it's my 3rd semester and it's such a pleasure to be here among you. Thank you so much for your invitation. And so what about my way to Kettering College? I remember the day when on 24th February, a cruel and terrible war broke out in my free and independent country. And so I realized at that moment that my life would never be the same again. So I had decided to leave my country with my mom. And it was a long way in Europe. After that, we decided to go to Canada. My sister, she invited us. So I would like to share my story, my miracle story. About 4 years before, I asked God about his way, about his plan for me. And after that, I went to my bed, and it was a dream in which I have seen small room in which I sat on the high bed with huge books. I remember that this huge books was in non-native language for me, but I looked at the pictures and it was so interesting. I noticed many things and it was so vividly, many details around me. So after that, I woke up and I realized that, wow, God, it was interesting dream, and maybe I will continue my study in another place, who knows. And so when the war began, my dad, he worked like a volunteer in the most dangerous places in Ukraine, and he helped people. And we, unfortunately, we lose connect with him for some days when we weren't free. And first message that I have received from my dad was a message about opportunity to be here and continue my education in the Kettering College. So, and I remember my first day here in the United States. Our RA opened my door, and I have realized that it's room from my dream. And after that, I received my huge books in non-native language. And I realized, wow, God, it's a miracle and it's your plan for me. I appreciate so, thank you so much for such opportunity. And we hope that God leads us and we will be great, we want to be a great tools in his hand and help people in our future. Thank you so much.
But you talk nice and loud. It sounded great.
I didn't want to interrupt, so.
Nata, you want to begin?
Well, let's begin with so that 1 year ago I couldn't even imagine that I will be here in front of you and tell my story. So I'm 25. Before the war began, I was in a city that you saw in our video and was doing my residency in a Kyiv hospital in the cardiology department. When war began, I decided that it will be better to move to my parents in the south part of Ukraine, and I spent a few days with them. And after that, we went to Moldova to visit our relatives, me and my young sister. But my mom, she was so upset and she had a guilt that we left our dad because, you know, there was 25 years to pass on one hole. And she felt bad. She has some like a psychosis, I don't know. And we decided it would be better for her and for her mental health to come back to my dad. And I continued my way to Italy to visit my aunt. It is so beautiful country, so beautiful. I like it, but it's not so pleasant or friendly for immigrants. So I don't have enough opportunities as a medical worker there. So I spoke with my friend. She was at that time in Sweden, and she invited me to visit her. And I went to her and almost decided that I will stay in Sweden and start learn Swedish. It's terrible language. It's like mix of Dutch, English, and Ukrainian, Russian, and all of them. It's terrible. And I had 5 times lessons in a week studying Swedish. So I got job offer from a hospital in Göteborg, and I need to answer them. But at this time, I received a message from my friends at Kettering College proposed 50 students to study in Kettering College. And I asked God, what do you want from me? Maybe I need to apply application, or should I not? And I decided that I will do that. I fill out the form and start to pray. In a day when I need to answer for my job offer to hospital, I received answer from Kettering College that they submit my they submit my study, and I understood that that was God's answer for my prayer. So here I am.
Hello everyone. I'm really delighted to be here. I'm so appreciated, and thank you for I can make this a little speech for you. So I'm right now going to tell for me something about me. I'm Vitaly, 18 years old. Pre-nursing program. This is my major, as I said a few minutes ago. When before I arrived in the USA and before the war started, I was in my city in the west side of country Ukraine, city Lviv, and I remember this first hours after beginning and invasion Russia in the country. my father as the pastor and the president of the West Conference in the Church of Seventh-day Adventist. He was shocked as the other many people who have arrived from other regions, our countries. It was probably more from the east side and Kyiv. And I remember how he and my mother starting to help them with the house, with food and other items, just for living in the first time in our city and helping them. But one of the question was with me, with my brother also, who worked in Kyiv as a doctor. And also after the invasion, he should to leave his work and going to Zakarpatsk region, the places where I grew up. So my parents, me and my brother have decided and have a little spoke with each other what we should do next with our lives. And I knew about this opportunity to be here in Kettering College from members of my church. To be honest, I'm not believe in this because it's really unbelievable. It was unbelievable for me to starting here to be a doctor here because first of all, it was one of my biggest dreams to be a doctor or nursing. So starting the praying a lot, and after this process is started and the documents is starting to fill, I'm in this time I'm don't sure that it's just a reality, that it will be the really for me from in my life that I become a student of the American college. But as you see, I'm right now here. And, I know that with God's power, we can do anything, and we going to serve Him, serve people. We make a really great things. So thank you so much. I appreciate to be here.
So much, all of you, and you look up on that screen and you see that whole group of students, and everyone has a dramatic and riveting story of their journey to our community. And this program has been an incredible blessing to each one of them. And together, they have been an incredible blessing to our college. And I know that in the future, as Ukraine rebuilds, and when they are ready, that these students will have an incredible impact on healthcare in their country, and they will take back with them the blessing that this community has been on their lives. I'm going to stop there. Thank you so much, but I think we have quite a bit of time for questions and answers. So this would be a great opportunity for you all if you have questions for, especially for our students.
Here's one. I don't have a question, but I had an opportunity to speak with 3 young future medical
Genius.
Professionals.
and I was really, really impressed, you know, with your openness, you know, your willingness, and, you know, you're coming from a different culture, you know, we talked about, you know, making decisions about common sense, and you're very grounded, and I just want to say welcome, and if there's anything, you know, that I could do, you know, or any, you know, I'm gonna probably invite you to the Exchange Club, and hopefully some other clubs will invite you to come and speak as well, because people need to hear your story. And thank you so much.
Are your plans to return back to Ukraine once you finish your education here? Any of you? Yeah.
I think that.
Speak in the mic.
Oh, of course, yeah, sorry. I think that for the first time, we need to be here and serve for American people, and the first make the experience for us of working and to make experience from other students or doctors who can give us this experience. So I think that for the first time we will be here, and the next we just will be seeing what will be next. But it will be a great if we return to our country and serve for our people too. It's I think the dream of some of our students, and I think the biggest part of our students.
There's so much that is needed now, but I mean, 10 years from now, there's still going to be incredible needs, right? And so this group is going to be a special group of Ukrainians with a special opportunity to contribute.
How many students are there across the United States? Do you know of other hospital systems in Seventh-day Adventists?
Yeah, I don't know of any other institution in the country that has taken as many students as we have.
Okay.
We just heard from a healthcare system in Florida that is planning to take about a dozen students on similar kinds of terms. But this is a special circumstance, special initiative.
Are all these students going to become registered nurses?
Yes, and so I think and this was one of the ways we brought them all here, it was just simplest to say they're all going to be nurses, right? We're admitting you all to our nursing program, just to keep the conversations at embassies stream efficient, right? But I think some have other kinds of skills and backgrounds, right, and experiences, so that can impact their journeys. And even those who do go on and do nursing, you know, there are lots of folks who do nursing and then go on to do
Nurse practitioners.
Yes, and other kinds of things.
Are you able to keep in touch with a lot of families still at home?
Yes, but yes, but we have difference in time, 7 hours, so we try to talk with them until 5 p.m. So they have 12.
So any aha moments or surprises since you've been here in the States? Anything that we do crazy that you're not used to seeing?
Yeah.
Where do you start?
Don't give
Yes. Okay, I will tell about one. It was a surprise for us that I think that's like differences between our traditional when Americans ask how are you, they mean hello. But they don't, sometimes they don't really want to know how are you. Meet someone in a hall, for example, and say me, how are you? And keep going. And I said to the back, oh, I'm good, thank you.
I just found it interesting when you were talking that you know, first, I believe it was you that went to Moldova, then you went to Italy, then you went to Sweden. It's kind of like us in the United States going to Nebraska, then we're going down to Florida. I mean, just so many different countries that, you know, that are much different than the United States. And just being able to go to those different areas.
But when you traveling during Europe, it's a little bit cheaper.
Yeah. Yeah.
Around.
One point that I want to make is, I think it was you who said that in Italy, which I love Italy, but you said that there was discrimination there for immigrants.
Yeah, because when they have a job opportunity and have two people, Italian and not Italian, they prefer to give it to Italian.
Okay, so that's a different
Yeah, because they
take
have some
on
relatives.
discrimination.
They have some relatives and they still have problems with having a job because they lived in Italy almost 10 years.
Wow.
And still have this problem.
But not even in fact, not even in Italy, this situation, I have lived in Czech Republic and was working in the factory. So it's the same situation was happening with me and my mother, that they gives more opportunity for working the citizen of Czech Republic than the Ukrainian or other national, international people who live in their country.
And how many, your instructors here, do they teach you in English or Ukrainian? Only in English. And so how many and where do you study English? So you, because you all speak very well. And so how did that happen?
Did you know
Do you
English
still take
before
classes
coming?
or what?
We try to study English in Ukraine during our school and university, but we don't study it in such levels that to feel free and speak and live here. So we try to do it in the process. I mean, we study lessons, reading a lot, speaking, doing writing assignments, and try always to translate. And I learn new words. I'm done.
So let me add a little more to that. So this was something else that was a journey for Kettering College, because Kettering College does not have an English language learner and instruction program. Okay, and so we knew that we were going to be bringing students, and healthcare education is a tough academic discipline, right? And so we knew that that students are going to struggle, even native English speakers, right? So we thought we need to bring someone here, not only who can help with their cultural acclimatization, but who can also help with their academic success. So prior to being the director of education for the Eurasia division, Professor Ryapolov was a professor of English at a university in Moscow. Right. So, and he is a native Ukrainian. So he is just exactly the right person to connect with us and has provided just an incomparable level of mentorship and engagement to our students. We have a couple of our faculty who have taught ESL in the past, but in addition, the kinds of student visas they have, and because we don't offer an ESL program, these students have to be enrolled full-time in our regular coursework. So what we have done is in some of our regular courses had cohorts with faculty who have experience teaching English language learners and just taking extra time to make sure that they're keeping up. So it's been a fun journey.
So now I have a question for
Okay.
okay, so you were in Moscow teaching and Seventh-day Adventist?
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Here we go.
Okay, is that a religion in Russia?
All right, so that's a great question. The World Church of Seventh-day Adventists, they currently have more than 22 million members.
Oh, sorry.
Not including kids, and those who did not commit, the baptism, right? So the World Church operates, as Nate said, more than 100 higher educational institutions around the world, including one near Moscow. Okay, that's Zalsky Adventist University. It is accredited by the AAA organization, Adventist Accrediting Association, where I taught prior to coming to the education department of the Eurasia division of the Seventh-day Adventist Church. Now, the division is basically the branch of the World Church. So the World Church operates from Washington, D.C., but it has placed 13 divisions around the world. One of these divisions, its headquarters are based in Moscow. So that's how it came, I, being an ethnic Ukrainian, was invited to teach in Zalsky Adventist University, an Adventist church institution. Then after that, I was invited to work in the education department. So yes, there are many Adventists there in Russia, in Ukraine, in STEM countries, and many miracles taking place there. If I can answer,
I have a follow-up question.
Sure.
So,
Did I answer the question?
You did.
Partially.
Yeah, you did. You really.
but here's a question that may help in addition. Okay, so when the war broke out, what was it like for an ethnic Ukrainian working in Moscow and living in Moscow with his family?
That's a good one. That's a good one. So I believe basically it depends on the personality. So I know many Ukrainians who left, as that's what I did. I know some that stayed there. For us, it was not a difficult, choice to make, because our parents were in Kharkiv, being constantly shelled, by Russians, and there was no way I envisioned that I could operate the 24 schools and the seminary and the college out of a nice office in Moscow. So we left in 10 days after the invasion started. The reason it took us so long is that our young daughter didn't have a valid foreign passport at that time, so that took some time, to do that. And the story goes that at that time, the international travel was about to be banned completely. That was like 1 year ago in March, actually the beginning of March. So there were basically two directions to go, either Turkey or United Arab Emirates. Turkey is closer to us because we have been many times to Turkey. But the prices for the air travel were so high, astronomically, unbelievably high. So for the price of us, four of us, traveling one way to Turkey, just like flying, we were able to purchase a package tour in a hotel in United Arab Emirates, all inclusive. Just to realize what was going on. So out of there, we overstayed our planned, time of stay in United Arab Emirates. Out of there, we already visited the Ukrainian embassy, consulate, and the American embassy. Obtained our visas and got the WHO approved vaccines, which could not be obtained in Russia. They did not administer any WHO vaccines, and they did not come to the United States without being vaccinated with that. And the funny thing is that the United Arab Emirates do not administer any vaccines to visitors.
What?
So that was a challenge. So at the end, to cut it short, we found a private clinic in Dubai, which was the furthest emirate from Ras Al Khaimah where we stayed. We took one shot, 21 days passed. We took another one, then 2 weeks passed before we were eligible to board the plane. Short and sweet.
That's the short. We are so fortunate in this country. And I say we. I'm a native-born Canadian, but I'm a naturalized citizen of the United States. And boy, every story of every person here is as amazing as this one that I've told, including the one at the bottom left-hand corner, the young lady in the blue patterned skirt and the peach-colored sweater. That is Ivan's oldest daughter, Lisa, who is a pre-nursing student at the college and doing very well. But boy, it just underscores what a wonderful country we live in, and what that liberty and justice for all really means.
It's called democracy. So this has been so enlightening and interesting, because I need to get on Zoom. Thank you. I mean, this has been just what I thought it would be. It is really enlightening. It's interesting. We hear about all these countries. We hear about things that are going on in Ukraine and wondering, well, how are these people really living, and what do they really think? And we see the devastation of, I think about Dayton. If they dropped a bomb on Dayton, what it would look like. It's just so, this is really moving and inspiring, and it's great for you to tell your stories so that we can really understand what you've been through. We talk about racism in this country all the time, and we just think it's black and white, or black and brown, white and brown, or whatever. And I've traveled, and I know what you're talking about in Italy, even though it's a beautiful place, so nice. But it's just, we're all people, and we all have the same goals, the same dreams. We all want to live a high standard, a higher standard of life. We want education, we want what's best for our children. We all want the same things. And this is an example, they are telling us, you know, what they want for themselves, for their families, for their country. And to understand Russia, and God is great. When you let go and let God, He does remarkable things. You got out in the nick of time, and you really did. And I'm so happy for you, and so happy that you did. I want to thank everyone for coming today. And I'm really moved and kind of emotional about it. If President Nate, you are just a jewel. And this template that you laid out for bringing these students here is so important. And I do hope that other facilities, other teaching schools, teaching hospitals can bring more people into the United States so that they can learn and grow. And you all are the leaders of the future for Ukraine.
Yes.
You know, so yeah, you have to dig in and learn everything you can learn administratively. That's an example right there. I mean, chemist and then MBA. You know, PhD. You know, but you have to learn every aspect so that you can be effective. And so God bless you all. And this has really been a great meeting. Thank you so much. And if anybody wants information on how to reach them, contact me for your group. Because you guys need to be going everywhere.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Happy to talk with any of you if you'd like us to presentation.
Thank you so much.
They've got tests.
Okay.
Good luck. I was trying to think of a pack nursing service to say.
Yeah, please have her reach out to me.
Or we can just.
Yeah, please do.
I always said-
Thank you so much. Yeah, there are other
And
ones.
that information about an event that we're doing for Heights, and we're looking for nonprofit organizations to participate. Get involved with.
Good to see you guys.
Do you have a car? I just have a heart for like data.
Take care.
Okay, yeah, it's all my current contact information.
Thank you, yeah.
Okay.
We have a meeting next
Anything
week
you want
and
to
I
talk
can,
about more, yeah.
yeah, I could pass that on.
That's
to
fine, I hope not.
Oh, yeah.
Amy, right?
Yes.
Sometimes I have
Yeah.
hers, my
Yeah.
first.
I got you.
I'm sure we'll have a great meeting.
No.
Thank you. Wasn't it? I just did. No, I was reading an article or something. I just, sure. Oh, no. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, really?
Oh, that was good, man.
Please have her reach out to me.
Oh, really?
Because, you know, the opportunity.
Yeah, I just thought it would be. Yeah.
Kudos to
That's what we do.
When you get done with your term as president, there should be luncheon event. You have done,
Oh.
you know, with
lovely.
Janelle Ross,